Welcome to another week of STEAM. This week, we're going to look at animal tracks in your backyard. Scientists use guides to help them identify tracks that are left behind. Here are some pictures of animals that you observed in your animal claims last week and what their tracks look like. Squirrel and chipmunk, the rabbit, raccoon, deer, blue jay, and robin. I've also included a Farmer's Almanac guide that has some more animals on it. On this one, students observed the white-footed mouse and squirrel, the eastern chipmunk, a skunk and deer, red fox, squirrel, raccoon, and hare. You're going to use these guides to help you with the task this week. Your objectives are to use your prior knowledge to practice making a prediction about mystery tracks in the snow. After we practice, you'll go outside and observe animal tracks in your yard. Draw a diagram of one set of animal tracks that you observe, and then use your prior knowledge and the animal identification guide to identify the animal tracks that you find and write claim and evidence sentences. Let's practice. Here are some tracks that were in my driveway. I had fun the other day in the Zoom lesson practicing this with some students, so I'm going to share their predictions with you. So when they looked at these long white lines, their predictions were that they were made by some kind of tire. They guessed car, bicycle, recycle bin. And then when they looked at these track marks, they thought it could be a rabbit, a deer, or human. Let's find out what Miss McCormick thought. So when I looked at the tracks, the first thing I did was I wrote my evidence in a diagram. So I made an accurate diagram showing the shape of the tracks and the color, the gray and the white. I also made sure it was big enough for other scientists to see my evidence. And then I added the details, like how many tracks were there, what size were they, what shape, what direction were they going. And I added that to my label. So I labeled it driveway, left boot print, and the direction the scooter was moving. Now, I had some prior knowledge to help me figure out how to label this. I knew it was my driveway because I was the one doing the observation, and my next door neighbor rides a scooter all the time. So it was easy for me to figure out that that was a scooter print because I had another clue too. There was only the left boot print in the driveway. The right boot print was not there. So I knew from my past experiences that he keeps his right foot on the scooter and he uses his left foot to pedal. So when you go out, you can use your prior knowledge too to help you identify along with the identification guide. Now, how do we put that into a final diagram? Well, we need to do the A, B, C, D, E that we just talked about, making it accurate, big, matching the colors you see, and detailed. Now the E is to add a claim and evidence. My claim was the tracks in the snow were made by my neighbor riding his scooter. And my evidence sentence was the long tracks were made by the wheels, and there was only the left boot print because his other foot was on the scooter. Now it's your turn. I'm going to walk you through the steps. You're going to go outside and look for animal tracks. It can't be the human tracks because we just observed those together. Here is my second observation, animal footprints that I observed. I did my best to draw an accurate, big, colorful, and detailed diagram, including labels, and I want you to do the same with your animal tracks. You don't need to take a picture of the tracks, you can just draw the diagram. After you draw your diagram, you're going to compare it to the animal tracks in the identification guide I provided at the beginning of the slideshow. You'll be getting a copy of that, so you'll be able to go through it as many times as you want. Mine matched the mouse the closest, and I had observed mice in my neighbor's backyard. So now I can put all of that into my explanation. The animal tracks I observed were made by a mouse is my claim sentence. And my evidence is that I noticed the prints were very tiny and there was a line in the snow made by the mouse's tail. I also observed mice in my neighbor's yard. That's my prior knowledge. And then finally, my animal print diagram is similar to the photo of the white-footed mouse tracks. So your tracks might not look exactly like it, but we're looking for what it is closest to. So before you go outside, be sure to re-look at the animal ID guide and then go outside and look for your tracks. You can either take a piece of paper outside with you to draw, or you can do what I did. I took a picture of it and then I came and drew my diagram inside in the warmth of my house. Here's a template to help you do that. So you're going to draw your ABC diagram, and I put clues at the top on what's included, and then your claim and evidence sentence. I also gave you some sentence stems to help you with that. Once you finish with your diagram, you're going to insert a picture like I did on this slide of your evidence. To do that, you're going to go to the toolbar at the top of this slideshow, and you're going to click on the one that shows mountains. That's the insert image tool. You'll go all the way down to the bottom and you'll click on the camera and then you'll click insert. Let's practice that. So in a minute, my toolbar will pop up and you'll see an arrow, a T, and then that insert image mountain picture I talked about. Go ahead and click on it. You'll see the camera at the bottom and you'll click on that. Then you'll notice that your picture is popping up. I've taken a couple photos ahead of time. I'll show you how I did that. So I took my diagram and I centered it the best I could. And then I click on the camera. All right, now I'm going to look and see, of those 3 pictures that are there, which one is the best. I actually think this one shows it a little bit better than the prior ones. So I'm going to pick that one and I'm going to click on insert. You'll notice it pops right up, and then it's helpful if you use the drag arrow to make it larger so Miss McCormick can see it. Now the next thing you're going to do is you need to send it to me, right? So you'll notice that there's a little share button at the top. So what you're going to do, is you're going to click on that share button. And then my name is here on this slide. So you would go ahead and type in the name and then click done, and voila. It is already sent to me in Schoology and you are done. I am so excited to see what animal tracks you find in your yard. See you next time. Have a great week.